order to even be able to look at that map. It's that orange. I'm not even kidding you.
Well, yeah, because it's a giant freaking desert.
It's a huge desert.
I do like it, though. It's a nice-looking map, in all honesty. But, yeah, so basically the map layout or game layout that we have for you guys tonight is going to be, obviously, this game right now, Impossibru versus Nameless, is supposed to start around 25 minutes ago, but it is actually starting right now. So there we go. Just like that. All it took was us bitching a little. But regardless, we are live here with Team Impossibru taking on Nameless. Nameless on the Survivor. Have to start things off with Impossibru on that SI. And once again, following this game, we're going to have U9 taking on Silencio Jockeys for a shot at being the NA Last Hope. So stay tuned for that one immediately following this one. Yeah, immediately following this one. Literally, like, we might have to bail out of this one if it's a huge score differential just to go to that one.
I actually agree. There is no hope left for HCP at this point. But we are live here, obviously. Team Nameless is on the Survivor side, and Team Impossibru on the Special Infected. They're probably going to wait to take this choke so we can do a quick roster rundown. For Team Nameless, we have F, Fitz, Snipe, and Setfire. And who do we have for Impossibru, Kiss Me?
Over on Impossibru, we have Somir, Spoody, Mangu, and Brian. And for those of you who think that we're just pronouncing Impossibru in a very, or slightly racist, pronunciation, it's actually their name. There's an R. It's not impossible. It's literally Impossibru. So, just so you guys are aware of that.
Yeah,
I mean, Rails is pretty racist. But
I was going to say, they beat Kiss Me to the racism just by making that the official team name, but this is something a little bit different right here. They're going up on the left-hand side. We've seen a lot of teams go to the right, at least in scrims, but it's working for them. Snipe is actually just going to kill that hunter, and then he slid down the rock face there to avoid taking damage. Spit's going to go in as well. Jockey's going to land on him. That's going to be just chip damage going out there, Kiss Me. So really not a whole lot to speak of unless this Charger gets something huge.
Yeah, I don't really see him being able to land all that much, if anything, here. Lewis is going to look for a pan here on the Charger. Not going to find that charge either. And he's going to go ahead and whiff all the survivors and be mowed down there in the background. Finally being killed off by Francis. But that will be the ladder choke taken very slowly and very carefully by Nameless. But they do manage to make up there nonetheless. Pretty much unscathed as well.
Yeah, and this tank being later allows them to do that because that damage hit right there has been nerfed a little bit due to the fact that you can shoot off the ladders in Ace Mod and Pro Mod now, obviously. But since they're in really good shape for this tank, they should just be able to deal with it and then probably make the save room if they just avoid a huge wipe. We do have a hit coming in right now. That Hunter is going to land on the Zoe. Spit's going to go down, but she's on top of a car. Jockey is going to get M2'd as Zoe is getting back up. A little bit of damage going out from that hit. That Jockey's still alive, going for Zoe. Finally shut down in the back right there. But again, Team Nameless looking pretty good, and the first tank of this match is going to be up into the hands of Menge for Team Impossibru.
Indeed, I wouldn't even be surprised if he pushes it in right here, but no, he's actually going to go ahead and elect to stay back. Nice! Curve Rock onto Francis! What the hell? Where did that come from? Literally, that was perfect.
He stepped forward right there and managed to get that directly around the corner and split the gap between the wall and the piece of ceiling that's fallen down right there. Good way to start that off. Let's see, though, because that should put 3 of the survivors into 4-punch range, and he is going to commit here with this 3-cap, moving into the corner, getting a nice double punch. Another punch going on to Francis right there. This should be the end cap, and indeed it is. The hit is going to be coming in the back of that as well. Charger is going to manage to land in the corner. We have the smoker landing onto Lewis right there. Hunter almost got that cover, but Bill got the clear right before that Hunter was able to land and prevent that smoker from being taken down. Hunter's going to go back in. Tank going to try to throw another curve rock around the corner here. Missing that one, though, down to under 200 HP. And Kiss Me, that was almost a beautiful wipe.
That was really close. That Hunter was literally a half-second off of getting that intercept onto the server in the back. I believe that was Bill who actually got the clear on that smoke, who was actually out on Toulouse, I believe. But regardless, that will be the tank being killed off here. Tank only has 169 HP left to its name, so it's going to go ahead and run backwards, or I should say forwards in the map at this point. And go ahead and AI itself. Allow the SI a couple more makeshift hit here. Is trying to get a little bit more of that health bonus down. Health bonus as it stands right now is also 374. So there is a little bit more damage redundant. Nice double boom going out with a smoker pull up front, but that's all she wrote for that hit. Jockey might elect to just save here, though.
I really don't like this. You know I don't like this? Because since that tank is still alive, they're going to almost guarantee themselves no spitter for this last hit. And I think what I've seen, even though it's Ace Mod, not Pro Mod spit, the spit charge capability here on these indoor maps is really good. They might be able to get one now, and they might be hinging on that fact by the time they walk outside, but they might get really unlucky. Yeah, it's going to be a 3-cap with spit, but it's not going to be a charge spit, and they're already outside. Because they had that tank going like that, they're just going to have to do what they can in this rather wide open area, and this should be a pretty easy shutdown. Yeah, Hunter gets killed. Smoker's gonna go in, gets picked. Jockey's gonna go down as well, and that's gonna be Team Nameless making the safety with a pretty nice bonus. That's why I didn't like that tank call, Kiss Me.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, as you mentioned, there was no chance of them really getting that spitter up earlier on this in the sack rotation because that tank was still up. But regardless, we will see Nameless making the save from here with a 368 health bonus for the round. So not too shabby at all. Made it with around half, I believe. Yeah, they had a 640 max possible. And so that will be the round for them. Now we'll switch things up here. Impossible hopping over to the Survivor side. And they are forced to pretty much match it. They had a... We should note, they had a very good showing. They were actually... seed number, what, 16 coming into this week? And they played Serenity last week and put on a hell of a show. Like, Serenity was on the edge pretty much the entirety of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been a win, like, probably one of the biggest upsets in competitive Left 4 Dead 2 history, had they been able to not die at that tank map for No Mercy. Anybody who hasn't seen that game, you can check out Kiss Me's YouTube for it. That was one hell of a match. But they are going to be on the Survivor side now. That is Team Impossibru. There is going to be a Hunter Spitter Jockey Charger once again for this first hit. The Witch is pretty much away here. And Kiss Me, how do you feel about hitting on the ladder with everything we talked about before and the potential for the Survivors to shut it down a little bit easier in Ace Mud?
It's really hit or miss. I mean, with this hit that they have that Hunter Spitter Jockey and a Smoke, or a Charger, I should say. I mean, that's a pretty good hit for the ladder. I'm not going to say don't do it, but as you mentioned, it's a lot easier to obviously clear. But I would honestly go for the separation there on the Bill. In fact, they're going to do just that. Hunter does manage to land on the Bill. The Survivors are really far away here, and that Jockey and Charger, they're just going to dogpile him. Here comes the spit. There's that charge out on the Bill. He misses the charge, though. That's a huge blunder, but Mangu's still taking around 50 HP worth of damage, and that, in all honesty, was still really worth it. But they are going up the Witch here, so let's see if they can actually land. Oh, are they going to avoid it?
She's behind. She's on the hill way back there, so I didn't even have to go near her at all. She was hidden inside the tree.
I see. But, yeah, I'm not against hitting on the ladder, but if something like that, like the opportunity that gets on Bill does present itself, I would definitely take that over the ladder, just because, as you mentioned, the ability to shift the ladders really nerfs that choke in specific, because you have a really nice range of vision up once you reach the top of one of the ladders.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I think that was the right call. They really should have been punished a little bit more for that, for how far away Bill was, and just sent everything on him, even when the Hunter was on, and maybe started, like, M2ing him just to have all the scratches do that damage, but they got what they got. Charger unfortunately missed. They're in a similar position, though, but this tank is going to have Horde right here, and there is a full hit. Tank in the hands of Setfire for Team Nameless. This is going to be an instant commit. Boomer's going to be up above as well. Nice double boom landing. Tank is going to be in. Going to get the initial punch onto Zoe. He still has over 5,000 HP. Working his way back around, getting a punch onto Menge once again. This should be the in-cap onto him after one more punch now. Boomer is still up as well. There's the down. Tank still has around 3k HP. Zoe in the back, kiting a Hunter around right here. Hunter is going to land onto her. Tank has another corner. Smoker's going to land almost the intercept right there, but Lewis manages to kite that Smoker around, kills it, and then is going to be able to clear Zoe before that Hunter kills. But this Tank still has 3k HP, should be able to push in. He's going to try to go for the revive right here, and he is going to get it. Zoe's going to get punched again. Now Lewis is going to get punched. Brian's going to be able to take his pills, gets punched by the tank once again. Disaster so far for Team Impossibru on this. Zoe's going to be black and white. Tank is there. Lewis is frantically reloading, and that car almost hits him as he goes running around back there, and there it is. Oh my goodness. What a wipe from Team Nameless.
That was incredibly well played there by that tank, and some amazing SI support as well. Nice double boom going on to two Survivors to really open up the doorway for him, and that wipe that we saw there in the end. But yeah, very well played by them. So Team Nameless coming out to a huge lead here on map 1 to start things off. They're up by around 500 points, I do believe the delta stands at. So let's see if Impossible can kind of turn around. A lot of anticipation on their end for me. I think that after last week's showing, they have a lot to show here. I wouldn't count them out of this by a mile. So I think that if anything, they could easily make a comeback here and you know, make it a very interesting game to say the least. But Nameless, once again, very strong team. To see them down in the lower bracket here after week 1 was a little unexpected. But I mean, yeah, it does happen.
Honestly, with a situation like that where there's a full hit up and still lingering common, I think the best thing for the Survivors to have done probably would have just been to simply back up. And that means they would have had to traverse their way all the way back through the bridge. But if they went fast enough and staggered, they could have avoided that disaster. As soon as they got boom with that residual common right there, that was going to set up for a disaster, if not a wipe. They almost landed the 2-cap as well in terms of what Team Nameless did. Now, they are going to be enjoying that over 400-point advantage, as you did mention. It's going to be a Boomer, Jockey, Hunter, and a Spitter for the first hit here from Team Impossibru. Tank's gonna be at 56%, so that should be the tunnel tank, if not a little bit further outside. Let's see exactly what they choose to do with it. They know there's a 2-2, obviously. They're going to push out. Boomer's going to come from the right-hand side. Madden get an arc boom on to Lewis. We do have a Hunter landing in the corner over there as well. Jockey trolling that on Bill. That's going to be a good amount of damage for a 2-2, I would say, Kissney.
Yeah, pretty good body block there going out by the Jockey out onto Bill. Didn't even elect to actually go for the pounce. He just wanted to kind of lock Bill up inside the spin. He did just that. And in the end, Bill ended up dropping down to 65 HP here, solid. So he took around 35 damage from that hit in general. But Witch will be up at 44% of the way through the map here. They are coming up on it, actually. Lewis making quick headway towards her. And she's probably right outside the pipe here, I would assume.
She is on top of the platform next to the Susie over there. So she's actually a little bit, like, she's drawable, but they need to make sure that they don't eat a hit at the same point in time. He's going to try to draw the Witch right now. Charger, Hunter, Boomer, and a Jockey coming in at the same time. Boomer's going to miss the arc boom in the front. Hunter's in the back. Witch is still making her way in. Charger's going to whiff that charge, and they're going really early, Kissney.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all, but the Witch is a little glitched out here, trying to hop up on top of the ladder here. She does finally get up, but she's going to get shotgunned in the face and dropped like a hot potato there. So that will be the Witch dead, obviously. Lewis gets to keep his full HP for another attack. And yeah, I agree. They went in definitely way too early there with that Witch commitment. They probably should have had someone just looking at her pathing, and you know, obviously telling the team when to go in. But it seems like once the Witch got triggered, they decided to all just dogpile in, and it really didn't work out.
It really did not. Jockey's going to go and managing to land onto Lewis right there. Spit's actually going to miss, and then the Hunter's going to get skeeted as that Smoker's tongue got cleared. Another pull going out. That could have been a lot better had they been a little bit more in sync.
Oh, are we talking about the Witch or that attack? I mean, the attack was...
That's what we had right here, yeah.
Yeah, the attack was actually really close to landing with a nice double cap. In fact, the double cap did land. The tri-cap was actually what missed. The Hunter got shut down kind of off on the lower ramp there. But, yeah, so if they were a little more in time there, obviously much more would have been had from that hit damage-wise for them. But once again, we still have that tank to look forward to here. 56% of the way through the map, but we will see Nameless in the meantime just kind of holding out the rest of this horde here. As we see Fitz over in the back. Attack is making the way. No, Hunter looking for Patcher. Fitz misses the first shot, but his teammate quick to back him up there with that shotgun blast on Hunter. Charger shut down. Spitter has nothing to work with, and that will be the attack pretty much obliterated.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Impossibru is rattled by that first chapter or not, but their hits haven't been, like, directly on point as you'd want to see from a team in this situation. It's been a little bit staggered. For instance, there, that Hunter got skeeted. We saw maybe it's good shutdowns coming out from Nameless as well inside this tunnel. But for anything to land in here whatsoever, you need to have it almost perfectly timed at this point. And they might be able to pull that off with this hit, but they need to stop sending their parents in staggered. Now they're going in at the right time. There's your pounce landing. Jockey's going to land as well. Smoker's going to land in succession. That's a little bit more of what I was talking about there in terms of just being a little bit more cohesive.
Yeah, they got, even though it wasn't that much damage, it was still a lot more than they got in the previous hits, just because they were actually more in sync, as you mentioned. And there is also the tank spawning up in the hands of Brian, and that's actually really close to in line with the button there. And I can see Impossible, if they're not paying very close attention to how they jump up and actually press that button, they may actually go ahead and just trigger the tank with the event, which would pretty much spell lights out for them.
Yeah, that would be awful. I think the only way for them to really, like, avoid that is to be a little bit more careful than they were, what we saw on map 1 there, because, like I said, they walked close to Common in that area, and they were just asking for it, and if that happens in this area or in the tunnel, it would be an essential quad boom with everything else considered. 3 spawns and a tank, that would be a sure wipe. Looks as though Brian for Impossibru is going to commit the tank here relatively soon. Survivor's playing really, really aggressive with their positioning. They are 4 Uzi. And I like this call because those 2 survivors are going to be in their face, but if anything spawns in between there and manages to get like a double charge or something, that would be great. But nice jump by Francis actually to get away. Survivor's cutting around. This tank is getting shredded. He's down to under 3k HP right now. Going in, he's trying to catch Zoe. He does manage to catch it. Nice double cap. Landing that Hunter actually gets cleared somehow. Now the Hunter's going to get a repounce going out. Tank gets an in cap. Over 2k HP. Kiss me, that was a really weird Hunter animation. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, the tank kind of punched to the 2 survivors, and then actually no, he's going to go for a last second punch around to Francis. Another quick punch down to 1,000 HP. He could actually still make this happen here. Smoker can pull under Zoe, pulling her across the or not the atrium, but the sewers, I should say. And Tank went for a little bit of a cheeky back hop there off the ladder, looking for that punch on Zoe. Doesn't find it though, but that will be Tank dying off, and only Sniping Fitz really holding any solid left for the survivors. survivors. Good news is, though, that the temporary should be relatively untouched, and indeed is standing at 100%. But yeah, as you mentioned about that Hunter pass, the tank grabbed a double punch as he climbed up the ladder on 2 survivors, and then Hunter kind of hit one of the survivors mid-air and kind of got drug along with him, but then hopped off somewhere mid-air.
That was really interesting. I haven't seen that in a little while. I mean, that's an okay handle, I would say, from Team Nameless. I've seen it be absolute disaster in that area, and the tank's recommit was pretty good, too, to get that second in cap. But they're going to be behind before they play their Survivor half by definitely over 1,000 points going into the second half of this chapter. I mean, they can do a pretty good job right here of getting more damage in this area with a 3 cap with a charge spit, but, like, I don't know. It's not in the start that I would say Team Impossibru wanted coming into this.
Yeah, you don't want to let something like this happen. You want to try and shut everything down and make it, you know, at least some sort of wipe happen here so you can try and claw back a little bit of deficit. But the deficit is very widening, to say the least. I got a little mind struck there because the Hunter just, like, got skied as it hit Zoe and then, like, flicked across. I don't know. I'll play the replay again so you guys can see. It basically flew by at, like, 3 times the normal speed. I've never seen that. That was very weird.
That was a great shutdown right there, too. They managed to kill that Charger and that Jockey before they landed, and at this point, this is going to be much more than 1,000 points. I would say probably a couple hundred more, because we're going to see Team Nameless make the save from right here. Francis is pulled, and they are going to get in. Yeah, it's going to be like 1,200 points going into Team Impossibru's Survivor half. That's a great start from Team Nameless, and I would say right here now that Impossibru needs to be careful, because if they wipe on that tank, they're going to be down an insane amount of points going into map 3 almost. It would be over 1k, I think, if they wipe that tank, or close to it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, once again, the score delta as it stands is at, what, 1,230, I believe you said? So yeah, somewhere around there, 1,230 points. So yeah, tank will be up around 200 points or so. So if they were to wipe, once again, that would pretty much spell a 1k deficit here going into the 3rd map for them. And once again, since we're in a best-of-1 format right now for this specific match, you know, over 1,000 point deficit, even though you got 3 maps to go, you don't want to be in that position. You don't ever want to be in that position. Let's just go with that.
Yeah, I mean, even in a home and away game, it would be annoying because Death Toll is one of those right now. We haven't really seen the hittables come into play yet, but map 3, map 4, and map 5 really have those be a focus. These first 2 tanks, the first one there in map 1 was just a simple, okay, kind of closed area tank with support, and then this one was an open area tank with support, but there's going to be more variables come next map. That Jockey's going to get M2 and shut down, managed to get a couple scratches just for the heck of it. And the Boomer spawned up in a pretty typical spot, trying not to get headshot. It's a nice arc boom. And now if they wait, they actually might be in trouble, because if that spawn from Sapphire gets a Charger, that's a much better hit in this area.
Yeah, and what they can actually do is, actually, no, they're going to go ahead and push out, so never mind that. Boomer going to try and save himself here, looking for another Boomer here in a couple seconds. In fact, he's going to go ahead and drop down onto 2 survivors and grabs a proxy out onto Lewis and Zoe. So that will draw in a little bit more horde here as it starts to look to progress here.
Yeah, that was a pretty good decision, I would say, from Impossibru to push through that, kill the rest of the common, work their way into this tunnel before the next set of spawns are up. That Charger's not going to be able to get much of anything either. And this is going to be another withdrawal attempt right here, I would say, from Team Impossibru. And as you said, they have to be really careful with their positioning, because if they screw up and start the event and tank at the same time, it's almost a sure wipe. Going to be a Hunter, Jockey, Boomer, and a Charger for this next hit.
Yeah, and I doubt we're going to be seeing the same mistake come out here from Nameless with this switch. They're more than likely going to have someone looking at her pathing, seeing if she's actually caught up on anything, and kind of signaling to the rest of the SI when to actually go in, because they're not going to let this witch just stay. But regardless, Brian with that shotgun goes ahead and goes for the drone. But Lewis will stay right up front here, and actually no SI contesting him. So that's very interesting. They might be looking to just hit on this switch, because if they can drag one survivor just past the switch, pretty much, that will signify the tank. But anyway, Boomer rocketing, grabs a single double boom out to 2 survivors. Charger does get shut down. Hunter pounds in the back, but gets Uzi down by Zoe. And that will be the event started. And the attack pretty much nullified by Impossibru. So I have to say, so far, much tighter survivor play we've been seeing from them in this round compared to the last one, at least.
Exactly, and I was just about to mention that, where this is the kind of level of play we were expecting them to see for a team that went toe-to-toe with Serenity on No Mercy last week. And if they keep playing like this and they shut down that tank and then they make save from his bonus, that would be optimal. But the problem is I see things go wrong all the time with this tank fight here. We do have that Charger managing to go in as well, but is not going to get much of anything. That Smoker got cleared, Jockey got shut down, and they need to do that 3 or 4 more times, standing in this tunnel, play point control with the SI, have 2 shotguns staring someplace, 2 shotguns somewhere else, and just kill everything, and they'll be in pretty good position.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how well they can once again hold out these next couple of hits. They don't want to take any damage going into this tank, obviously, because at the most you just want to lose your solid health. You don't have to pop a set of pills and kind of lose that damage bonus as well if you do get cornered. But regardless, Boomer going in the background does land a single boom on one survivor. This Hunter being very vigilant and aware of his surroundings, dodging all the shots with that shotgun for the most part, but does end up eating a buckshot in the end. Charger whiffs, and that will be the end of the hit. We do see a little bit of damage going out onto Spuddy there. But other than that, that was another attack pretty well taken. I mean, no survivor as it stands right now below really 80 HP. I mean, Brian's at 79, but everyone else standing strong, 98, 96, 83. And yeah, they're actually doing pretty well here, holding together with that health. But another attack looking to come in here in a couple of seconds. Spitter, Hunter, Smoker, and Boomer. So not very potent here with those two SI support, but that's a nice double cap happening. Smoker and Hunter both finding targets, and that Spit does manage to land onto two survivors there for a couple ticks of damage. So that will be the end of that attack. But that did end up dropping another survivor down below the 80 HP range, and one of them below 90, in fact.
Yeah, the Horde should be almost over. That single boom is going to have a few more commons trailing in, but I mean, that's minimal damage right there. They're lucky that there wasn't like a charger or something like that to follow it up too, because once Francis left that position, the spawns were able to get in. He got pounced, the other full came in. And as long as they don't let that happen again, and yeah, that's what we're kind of seeing right here, like, when you're playing around those pillars, it's good to kind of bounce from either side, have somebody watching you as well, just in case you do get, like, pulled down or something like that. But this Hunter's going to be going for him instead, and then he's going to try to back up. Charger's going to go in, managing to land. That's kind of what I was talking about. Hunter does get taken out. No Spit to maximize on that, but again, only a couple caps landing. Double boom lands though, and this tank is up as that double boom goes in the hands of Snipe right here. It looks as though he wanted to think about rolling in with that, and you know what? I think he's actually going to. He's going to come in on the tail end of that double boom right here, working his way over, getting shot in the face by 3 Uzis at the same time, chasing Lewis around right here. His spawns are just coming up. Francis jukes that punch. This tank is almost dead. Smoker Pull is going to go in. Hunter's looking for the cover as well. Tank is going to miss, and that is going to be a punch going out onto Lewis, who's got the corner in the pipe over there, and they need to kill this tank before he gets that down. He's going to get that down before he gets out. Okay, one down. That's the best we could have seen that. Really, really risky decision by Nameless to commit that the way they did. I saw him start moving forward because I was like, there's no way he sends it on that double boom with no support. And his support was just coming up when he was in the middle. He missed a couple punches, and this is great for Impossibru.
Yeah, that was pretty much the best that they could have asked for. I mean, you're going to get somebody cornered. It's just a matter of time. It's just like, when is it going to happen? But the good news is they were able to actually kill that tank before they actually managed to get the tank out of that pipe and up the SI ladder that's inside of there, which would have meant for a much more harder pickup to say the least. But there is a nice smoke with the pounce around the corner onto Brian. Boomer B-hopping his way in towards survivors. Does get proxied onto Lewis, but he was already boomed anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. And they will just clear off these common that are trickling in here out onto them, and they will be able to make their way up the next ladder here. Well, makeshift ladder, kind of was a walkway, I guess, at some point. But regardless, they make their way outside. One last hit separates them from the safe room. SI attack begins to gear up here, as it is going to be a Charger, Hunter, Spitter, with a fourth spawn being a Jockey. So a lot of potential targets here for that Spitter to work with. It's just a matter of one or two of those SI managing to land here. I don't foresee that Hunter managing to get a good pounce from here. Obviously, it would be 25 probably if he were to land, but with all these shotguns in the hands of survivors, in fact, 4 shotguns, which is a little unorthodox. Normally we see some more Uzis.
There's one Uzi on Zoe, yeah.
Oh, they look like a shotgun from my angle. I lied.
You know, this could be a pretty good hit, but the survivors are either going to have to decide, okay, everybody push inside or everybody back up, because there's no smoker to set up the Charger here at all. So as long as they don't, like, eat the entire hit to the face when it drops on their head, they should be okay. But they're baiting it out, they're bleeding out a little bit, but that's not impacting the damage bonus. And you know what? I think they're looking like they want to decide to commit forward here. That Hunter's right on the edge, Spitter's baiting it out as well too. And now we got 2 inside, 3 inside. That's not what they should have done. But Zoe somehow got out of that completely unscathed. The Hunter manages to land now with a Charger going on that as well. So she got lucky the first time and dodged everything, but then they managed to land the pounce onto her. Kiss me, that's the only thing that I didn't want them to do, because they weren't coordinated on that. They sent 3 in one place and 1 outside.
Yeah, I mean, and good reason too. Obviously, with that huge separation, there's a lot of potential of just one SI landing onto her, and then everyone just once again dogpiles her. And we see that last hit alone dropping the health bonus down around, I believe, 70 points.
Over 100 points.
Yeah, it was like 508 down to 432. So yeah, 68-point differential just from that one hit, which is those are still points that they could definitely use here, as they are still in the, or trailing, I should say, to Team Nameless as we move into the third map of this 5-map campaign. Yet again, guys, as always, thank you for tuning in. You're watching the Bleed Out Tournament lower brackets round number 1. And we have around another 7 or 8 weeks to go here in this tournament. 8 depending on really how the grand finals are decided to be played out. But yeah, so regardless, we are watching the pretty much the first game where someone's gonna get knocked out here at the end of this when all is said and done, from Bleed Out, like actually knocked out, not just you know, didn't qualify.
Actually knocked out. Those are the games that I really like. And typically, though, it is worth to mention that in most of the brackets that we've seen from tournaments, it's been just a single elimination, but this is where teams can lose a game, but when they find themselves in the lower bracket, then it becomes obviously a single elimination scenario. No more losses at all. They're done with this tournament right here. And I think that gives teams a chance to recover after maybe a bad loss, or maybe continue what they were doing in a game like Impossibru were, like build on that when they played against Serenity. We do have a hit coming in here right now. Hunter's gonna land nice 2 caps. Charger's gonna go in the safe room, almost making it a tri-cap, but the Charger got mowed down by those oozes in the safe room before connecting. Kissing, that would have been a devastating tri-cap had that Charger landed.
Yeah, that was really close to latching on to Zoe there, but they managed to shut down that Charger once again inside the safe room at the last second. So good on Team Nameless, but still we see a lot of damage going out into Sniper here. Here comes the Witch Draw Crown, or the Crown in general, out onto the Witch obviously, and Zoe takes that quite easily. So that will be the first hurdle of the map out of the way, but with that, another SI hit comes to life here. Hunter, Smoker, Spitter, and a Charger. Very devastating setup here for this cross, and it will be interesting if they actually decide to hit on the cross. No, actually, they're going to go a little bit early here. Smoker for Puller doesn't find it from below. Charger gets destroyed in the front. Hunter lands in the back onto Zoe, and that will be the spit going down on top of it, but really not that much damage. I'm surprised they didn't wait for the cross.
I honestly like the idea that they had right there, but they need to wait for the survivors to commit a little bit further forward. Like, if they were going to drop that down the holes in the roof right there, then that would have been better. But we saw the survivors back up as soon as they heard that Charger. When they heard that Charger, that was an easy level with a long charge like that against a team like Nameless. You can't really afford them to have that extra space. We do have a single boom going in right there. Charger, Spitter, Hunter for the next hit. Coming in right now. Hunter's going in from the front. Nice heat going out. Charger's gonna come in from the back. Though managing to land onto Francis on the telephone pole with a pre-spit down on top of that. That's gonna put him slow. Almost an in-cap and Kiss Me. That's what I'm talking about. They managed to funnel them into an area where it's much harder to dodge. They bunch up after a boom, and then the Charger capitalized.
Yeah, that was very well played there by Team Impossible, kind of making Nameless mold to what they wanted. And yeah, so the tank will be up at 76% of the way through the map here, so it is coming up here in a couple of seconds as the survivors reach that 60% percentage mark, to say at least. But the moment they hit, I believe that fence up ahead, the tank should spawn. But Jockey spawns up in the side forest here in the meantime. I don't know if they're going to throw in the whole hit. I take that back. They are going to throw in the whole hit. Smoker and Charger both spawning up in the side forest as well, but they can't get close enough to actually initiate this attack here. They do see the Smoker, and he is getting chipped actually quite heavily. There's a nice tongue cut going out by F, and then the Charger also being leveled by him. And that will be the attack completely decimated there. And indeed, there is the tank here. It's going to be up in the hands of Solmir for Impossibru.
Interesting decision to hit right there. Typically, I would have been okay with it, but knowing that tank was going to spawn and then the survivors were standing in an open area basically waiting for the hit, that's when you kind of say, wait a minute, we should probably just calm down, wait for them to start actually moving in transition, and then maybe slam them through the trees. They should have another hit, though, coming up for when the survivors try to cross back over. This is pretty standard play right here, I would say, in terms of the survivors just running their way back. Nice Hunter landing onto Zoe right there. Jockey gets M2 and shut down. Smoker is up as well, and Solmir has to be a little bit careful right now. We do have a pull going out into Zoe, but that is going to get cleared. The reason he has to be a little bit careful is because he's going to knock this one car, and if he wants to play with his second car too, he's going to really need to decide to do that right now. That car, though, is going to bounce off that tower. That looked like it was going to be a good hit until it smacked into that wall, but Kiss Me, he has to be careful. He's low first, and both his cars are right next to each other.
Yeah, the really unfortunate thing about that area in specific where he just hit the car is an invisible wall that pretty much goes up. Once you get, like, in-game about 10-15 feet above that fence, there's a huge invisible wall that stretches literally like up to the sky, so there's really no way of avoiding it. and he unfortunately met that wall face to face right there. And that was really unfortunate too, because obviously that car had a pretty good angle on the two survivors that were running back and had a possibility of being a miracle car. But regardless, Solmir will go ahead and connect, or go take it.
All right, we have a quad boom going out right there. He is committing the tank. Thank you, Kissney, for that wonderful transition. We do have that corner going out. Jockey landing as well. This is absolute destruction going on to Team Nameless right here. This tank still has 2.5k HP, knocking Francis around, getting the second in cap. Both those survivors are still boom, going in, getting the punch onto Zoe, pushing into the corner right there, getting a punch onto Bill. Tank is almost dead, throwing a rock onto Bill again right there. Another punch going out. Ridiculous amounts of damage in that area. That quad boom right there that happened on that transition was beautiful. Boomer's gonna go and get M2 for them popped. Smoker's gonna come out as well, and Kiss Me, that is one of the best, like, non-wipe tanks I would say I've seen in that area. This is still happening too. Jockey's gonna go in there, gets M2 and not shut down actually. The Jockey's still alive. Still beating it in the face again with one of his fists and then smacking it with the crowbar. But that's a huge amount of damage on the Team Nameless from that tank.
Yeah, that is all pills gone, all health gone, and that is going to be pretty much the wipe spelled out here for Team Nameless. I don't even think they're going to be able to make it back to where they were previously when they triggered the tank. I really have a hard time actually picturing them be able to make this map. If they do, that will be a huge task in of itself, an achievement on their end. But yeah, regardless, I couldn't find the word I wanted to say. Here goes the tank committing, and I kept wanting to say connect for some reason. But regardless, Charger goes and lands out onto Lewis. Spitter goes down on top of it, but actually did miss for the most part. But yeah, I had a little bit of a stutter fit there, I guess. But anyway, Hunter looking for Lewis in the back, he does find one scratch, but that will be all she wrote for that hit. And yeah, I just don't see Nameless being able to make this map any longer. I mean, the bleed out alone is going to take them over and pretty much kill them by itself. The SI really don't have to do all that much, but they do want to stop them from getting that distance, obviously.
And right now, I mean, they basically made it to the house before the tank spawned, and if they can kill them, like, here, that'd be really good. They did save one set of pills in that pill cabinet, but Lewis is just, like, straggling in the back. They have a Boomer, Smoker, Jockey, and a Spitter. I want them to send this, like, now, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Boomer goes in, gets a single boom onto Lewis. Pull goes out in the front. Jockey going in, manually land onto the person who was pulled. Spit goes down, gets a little bit more chip damage out. Zoe's going to get pulled in the back right here, too. And that's going to do even more damage onto them. The pills have already been committed. And at this point, like you said, there's no holdout bonus. Their bonus is basically depleted. They have no health. And it's just those distance points that Team Impossibru can stop them from getting.
Yeah, I mean, they might find a pill or two in this house, also the ambulance up ahead, but other than that, that should be all they have health-wise for this map. They found a couple earlier on in that house along the street, the little, it's not even like a toll booth, but it's like a toll house, I guess, still, whatever. But regardless, there's a charge out onto Zoe inside the house, gonna pin her inside the spit as well. Jockey lands for a second there, and that's two incaps happening as the spit spreads out onto Lewis. Another incap onto STFR as he actually gets kind of boxed in by that death spit of the spitter, so well played by that spitter, securing two caps in of itself. And then obviously the Jockey and Charger working together on Zoe. But that will be a round of 3 pickups for Team Nameless. But they'll be able to lick their wounds and continue on here, grabbing all that distance.
Right, I mean, they have 0 bonus right now. I just double-checked after those 3 incaps went out to make sure. But no health, no damage bonus. They can literally just walk up to the door and die at this point. It would not matter. Nice double boom going out right there. Charger's going to go and get leveled, but this is a nice job by Nameless responding right here. They're still slow, but they are fighting for every single point, Kissney, because they know that tank typically shouldn't do a whole lot of damage. So if Team Impossibru can, they're going to shut that tank down and try to make this map with bonus, but that's why Nameless needs to push forward and get every single one of these distance points, put the pressure on Impossibru, make them perform on Survivor side, and capitalize on what just happened in this chapter.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, that tank not really known for getting all that much damage out onto the survivors. It's quite easy, in fact, to actually just kite around the train and all the other objects around in that area. So the car really doesn't usually become a factor, and it didn't even become a factor in this case. It was just that massive quad boom that went out. But regardless, there's one incap out onto Zoe. Hunter lands for a good amount of prolonged time out on SDFR, grabs another incap, and now they have this boom and charge. Last 2 SI up for this hit. They could secure this wipe if this Charger plays it correctly. One punch on the E-Star will do it. He missed a charge onto the Lewis, actually, and he misses the punch as well. He could have just went for the scratches and secured it.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, they have the maximum distance right here. They're getting 500 points in this chapter no matter what. Smoker's going to go in there trying to scratch down Lewis, and that is going to be the death onto him. And we do have a spit going down. This should be the wipe. Bill Setfire is the last one up. Hunter's going to be spawning in right now, trying to bounce his way. A nice skeet, though. Close range coming out. Stepfire took that Hunter's head straight off with that shotgun. Jockey's going to come in as well. Gets M2'd and shut down. Stepfire is not going down easy, Kiss Me.
No, indeed, he's not taking no for an answer. He wants these points, but there's a charge. That's going to do it. You can't say no to something that's like 7 feet tall and weighs 400 pounds. He did. He got the damage. Francis picked up the kill in the end. But once again, that will be the wipe happening out onto Team Nameless here. So they're going to be up by around 900 points, a little less than that, 898 points going into this second half of the third map. And this is really Impossibru's chance, in my opinion, to make this happen. If they can just make this safe, I believe this map is, what, 500 distance or 400?
Yeah.
500 distance. So that alone puts them at a 400-point deficit, or no, 300-point deficit. Well, still, never mind, it's 400 because they're a little under 900 at this point. Shut up, Rails. I'm trying to do math. I just got home from work. But
okay.
Yeah, so if they do make this with a little bit of health bonus, they would easily cut that down. The lead, the remaining 400, I should say, so to around 200. Say they made it with, and yeah. So let's see if Team Impossibru can make that happen. And once again, the tank isn't all that hard to negate here on the survivor half. It's just a matter of shutting down those SI, especially that possibility of quad boom. But here comes that boom. Speaking of which, as a charge not landing, Smoker and Boom both obviously landed, but that will be really shut down very quickly there by Impossibru all around.
That was almost a double or a triple charge right there. We saw it just graze one of the survivors, and all of them are playing with green ping, except for, what is that, like a 2 orange people on the side of Nameless, but it's like 71, 79. That was really one of those situations where that's a hair-splitting play. Like, if that double charge lands, that's a lot more damage. But instead, Team Impossibru are going to be able to roll their way forward right here. And we also want to mention, Kiss Me, even when the tank spawns, like, close to them, it's a pretty easy tank to deal with. But when you're going to be able to LOS it by running back half the map, then it's even better for the survivors.
Yeah, that's the thing about these late tank spawns, and that's kind of why you see some of the, or some survivor teams that play, not so much they don't run back over to the side of the fence, but they actually stay over on the other side and kind of play behind the train. It's not really the greatest area to take it, and it opens you up to a lot more possibility of what the tank can do, because it's a lot easier to get the car in there. It's a lot easier for SI to grab spawns as well. And that area in specific, I'll show right after this hit, as it looks like it's about to go in. It's going to be a Hunter Charger, Spitter, and a Smoker. So once again, I believe this exact same hit we saw for the previous team on this hit as well. But obviously, they're going to wait for the cross itself, trying to make some sort of drop back happen here. But very well played there. But Lewis actually does manage to get drugged back over. And now this Hunter, look for the pounce here on the Bill. Won't find it. The Hunter finds it instead. But yeah, that's going to be a double cap happening on 2 survivors in the back. Hunter Charger just ripping them apart. And that was so close to going all right for Impossibru, but that last second smoke.
That's my reaction to that hit. That noise that I made is literally what the survivors are dealing with right now. That Smoker's still up too, looking for another reset, but he's not going to get it. The miscommunication there was that 3 went to the one side and 1 kind of stayed back. The trick is you stay to the left side of that thing, that train car, and then you can clear the tongue if you give it enough distance. We have another hit coming in right now. Nice double boom. Smoker gets a pull. Charger's going to land. There is a beautiful charge going through 2 survivors to the side, pounding Zoe into the dirt, under half health, and Kiss Me, they cannot go back right now, in my opinion. They cannot take that tank all the way back.
Yeah, I mean, they will find a couple sets of pills there up ahead here. In fact, there's one right there at the bus, the dead body right there. Now, there should be another one up inside this pill cabinet. So they do have the pills to work with, but it's really... I wouldn't go back just because of that one person bleeding. Silmer is also pretty hurt. Spudu might also go down or take a...
oh my God.
Yeah, there's another person down into the bleed area. No, actually, Silmer stays above it. Oh, he is still taking damage. There's a yellow. I'm like, oh, I'm looking at the bar. I'm like, he's almost there.
Lewis, too. Lewis is going to be really close. He's at 41 HP, and that was another double cap. There's been at least a double cap on the past 3 hits, just to say, for Team Nameless. And yeah, they're going to probably stay in this area here and fight it forward. Because, okay, they've got 1 person bleeding. 2 others have to pop pills to go all the way back. They have to survive the tank fight, and basically the tank has to get a no-hitter. And then they might have the range to get back, but no, they're going to stay here. Tank is up in the hands of F for Team Nameless.
Indeed, and this could be pretty rough on the survivors. Actually, they're going to go ahead and opt to run back now. They saw that he was starting to bring in multiple cars here, and he just really didn't want to go for it. But Ross, there goes an attack there in the back towards survivors. Charger managed to land. Jockey, Hunter both get shut down, though. But that will be all for that hit. Now, Rock going in, looking for a target on the survivors. Doesn't find any. But it looks like survivors will actually go ahead and reclaim that forward ground now, pushing the way back towards the house.
Yeah. I like this. They're basically they're basically trying to determine where the tank is, and then if they can push the tank into an area where it's going to be like second pass or have it be bad, then they would be in good shape. But the tank actually kept sight that entire time while they were joking around near that toll booth area. And the Boomer's going to spawn up right here. Does that again. Nice try, Boom. Smoker's going to have a separation pull onto Zoe. This is disastrous. Bill is going to manage to clear that right before he gets jockeyed, and he's going to be brought right to the tank right there. Tank has 6k HP, 1 survivor split. Rock is going to miss, but kiss me, this is going to be a wipe. I can call it right here. Tank is going to go in, actually missing that. If I'm wrong, I am going to not like eating my words, but I think I'm probably right. Lewis is going to go down. Smoker Pool goes out. I thought maybe there was a shot after he missed that ladder punch, but Impossibru are going to get taken down by Nameless right there. Another beautiful Boom landing, and kiss me, this is not the position they want to be in going into map 4 at all.
Yeah, this is a lead that's just kind of opened up map after map. I mean, last round they were able to claw back a few points. It was like 100 points they were able to claw back, but now Nameless just blowing up another 200 points on top of it. So the point differential is going to be 570 points, I do believe, going into the 4th map, which once again is not insurmountable by any means. You can even make that back on the finale. It's nothing to be too worried about if you are Team Impossible. But as well, Nameless really shouldn't feel that comfortable with that lead. I mean, they are up by, you know, half a grand, but it is once again not the most comforting of leads. It is something that either of these two maps could result in the tide just being switched entirely.
And we have a 14% tank, so that is gonna add a little. Yeah, this is gonna add a little bit more like fuel to the fire, I would say, because it's basically right after this first hit. Luckily for the survivors, I don't think they have a charger, so it's a 2-2. But that can go really, really badly. I mean, if I'm Nameless, I'm happy with the way this game's gone so far. We have like a 500-point lead, but at the same point in time, like, this map in itself still has a lot of just insanity potential, I'll put it that way, because the event may not be that much of a threat, but this tank is really annoying. Boomer gets M2'd and shut down, and the survivors are out of the safe room right here. Team Nameless shutting down another hit. Smoker is going to get cleared, Spirit's going to die as well, and it's on this tank, kiss me, I can say it's going to be up into the hands of Spuddy for Team Impossibru.
Isn't that Spooty? Because it's
Spooty Spuddy?
Oh no, it's not an umlaut, I guess. It's an apostrophe. Yeah, Spy Spuddy.
Spooty Spuddy, something like that. He's getting a car, and Miracle Hittables, I believe as Battle once so wisely called them, the bullshit Honda.
Indeed. And he actually kind of put that in a really bad position there up by the church. So if he wanted to go for that, he's going to have to give it a couple whacks there to actually get into position. But he's actually going to go ahead and bring everything. He's going to even bring in the kitchen sink at some point, I'm sure. But there's a nice hittable out on the survivors. Not going to find a target, but that is a Boom laying on Lewis. And it looks like this tank is going to go ahead and look for the commit here instead of actually working with the hittables anymore.
I don't know how I feel about this. That hittable is going to go in, almost hitting Lewis. That would have made me feel a lot better, but he's going to push in, trying to get an initial punch right there. Turn around, getting the punch onto Bill. He's got Zoe somewhat trapped right here, and she actually manages to jump back over the fence. Tank is down to just about 3,000 HP. Curve Rock is going to miss. I no longer like the way this is going because he doesn't have a hittable next to him right now. He's going to be forced to get out. He's going to try to throw another Curve Rock around the corner right here, managing to miss it onto those common. Under 3k HP, and kiss me, I like the idea, but they needed to have like a survivor separate or something like that and kept over on the other side of the fence, because right now he's in an awful spot.
Yeah, he really lost all momentum he had going for him with that initial commit. There's a nice rocket somewhat, but it does end up getting juked there by the stars as they make their way back around the corner and ducking their heads down. But Spooty, once again, first pass, 45% rage left here on this tank, so he can just, you know, keep playing this tank out here for a little bit, waiting for his SI spawn to come back up. But his hittables are really not in the best of spots here. He's going to have to take a couple of hits to actually get them into a semi-decent position here as he looks for this next commit. But he's taking a lot of Uzi chip here, actually, just tossing these rocks out.
I mean, he could try to play a little bit of rock right now, but again, he needs that wipe. He's going to go for his hittable right here. Jockey did get shut down. Tank is launching this into the sky. It's nowhere near the survivors, though. And he's actually going to decide to go in right here, trying to get something. Gets a punch onto Zoe. Another punch almost landing, but kiss me, that's nowhere near the wipe that we were looking for. Again, I will also mention that it's extremely hard to wipe in that area if you don't have a hittable landing on something. And since he wasn't able to get a hittable on something, obviously not really wipeable. So this event is going to come down to a lot.
I mean, I've seen tanks in that specific area bring in like three cars, all the dumpsters in the world, and as a survivor, you look at that and you're just like, you know what, we're gonna die here. And unfortunately, he kind of got in a half-half position whereas, well, that's attack going in, nothing really landing though. But he got kind of in that position where he started working with the hitables, he started bringing them in one by one, but then that single boom landed, and it just made him want to push in. So then he was in a position where obviously he didn't have all of his hitables in, he didn't have them in really good positions either, because he didn't have time to really position them, and he just commits, and then nothing really went right with the commit either. He ended up pushing Zoe back over the fence, couldn't find a corner, and the stars just kind of rotated out around him. So it was kind of like, you know, he started doing something, it didn't pan out because he committed early, and you know, it just didn't come to fruition on either end, to say the least. And Nameless now sitting at an 1100 health bonus, post tank and which is absolutely just massive. Single boom laying onto Lewis. Hunter, Smoker, Jockey working the way in here. Only a single cap landing. Jockey does manage to latch onto Bill there at the tail end of that attack, but everything else really nothing to be wrote about.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is looking really bad for Impossibru at this point. I mean, even if they match that on Survivor side, like, with the way they've been playing so far, even the tanks where they shouldn't be taking a lot of damage, they kind of have. For example, last map when they wiped walking back. But again, it was the hits that they ate before that put their Survivor in such a bad position. Their Infected can only do so much because, like, Team Nameless's Survivor has been on point so far, but they haven't maximized the damage of tanks, they haven't been able to land multi-caps, they haven't done a whole lot of that stuff so far on the special infected side of things. Chat saying that they benched Xenia and that's why they're losing. That's interesting. We do have a Smoker getting shut down, Charter gets shut down, and Kiss Me, I was mentioning this a little bit to you pre-game right here, but this is the area where the Survivors just kind of stand for the entirety of these 180 comments.
Yeah, because it's a pretty good area, obviously, for the Stars to just take this entire event. We do see the SI utilizing the spot behind the fence, though, where the Survivors are actually standing right now. So they are aware of the map and what it actually holds for the SI to work with. But once again, if you're aware of that as a Survivor, it's pretty easy to shut down anything coming from behind that fence as well. Because, as you stated earlier on in a scrim that we were watching, is either you come from the front where you got like a 30-foot like gap to close as any SI before you can even get close to Survivors, unless you're a Smoker, obviously. Or you go over the 30-foot high fence. So it's really your pick. And regardless of the attack coming here, Smokey is shut down. Hunter does manage to land out onto Bill there on the side. Spit going on top of that as well. And Charger kind of doing a bit of a dog pile onto Bill. And STFR will drop down into the red, forced to pop a set of pills here to actually stay fast. So that was actually a really nice hit.
Yeah, that's the only real chance of landing damage there, is if you get one of those close proximity spawns behind one of those pillars, or you have like a Hunter cap somebody who's further away, and then the Survivors have to divert their Uzi fire to clear him instead of just the common. That's really how it works. And again, set fire is going to get boomed right there. Jockey's going to be looking for it on the side. Tri-cap coming in. Smoker's looking for something right there. Manny to land onto Zoe. Does get instantly cleared. Nice double cap, though. Hunter and Jockey landing in quick succession, but again, Fitz not taking it down quite yet. They still have 3 sets of pills, and this horde is, I believe, maybe a wave and a half from completion.
Yeah, we still have a little bit more to go here. Obviously, with the 180 mark, it's a little more than half of what we see on DK3 event with the roller coaster and whatnot. So it is a fairly lengthy event here, but it looks like the horde is kind of dying
Should be done.
Yeah, so it looks like we have finally elapsed that event.
What the hell is this?
What, smoke?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they're just stacking it, look for another spawn?
I don't know, that seemed a little bit out of key right there, because they could have had a pretty good pull charge or something like that as they walked over, and what, are they hoping to get like a, maybe like a Jockey or a Hunter maybe? I'm not entirely sure, but I would have liked to see that going a little bit more coordinated here, because again, this is a really, like, typically you don't even see this area because you just have common just pouring into your face on Pro Mod, but it's not hard to just, like, play it positional and maybe get like a level on just a Charger right here. They trade for that Jockey, so let's see if the Jockey can go in. Boomer goes in, gets a single boom. Charger manages to land onto Stepfire right there. Jockey is going to jump over the Survivor's head. There's a nice recap going out. That's going to be a down on Stepfire. That's the damage bonus being impacted right there, but that free charge landing is really what did it.
Yeah, that was a very nice heads-up play there by that Charger, separating that one Survivor way back into the alleyway, and pretty much outside of it, to say the least. But regardless, that will be the pickup going on to Bill. Lewis throwing over a set of pills as well, and actually Fitz taking an in-cap in the front. And there's another Boomer looking for a spawn here, and that's going to be an easy boom for him. A tri-boom landing, a lot more horde on its way in, and the SI spawns also coming up here. Hunter, a Jockey, and a third spawn in the wings. Going to be a spitter. So actually, there's the room now. Jockey landing on Survivor outside. And that's going to be a lot of separation. Hunter lands on to snipe out in the doorway as well. But the spitter not able to grab that spawn in time. And that will be the clear going out on the Bill in the back. But not before another nice chunk of damage. They were at 1100 post tank. Now down to a 570.
Francis fighting with that spitter right there too. Managing to finally get the kill. And now that's going to be another double boom landing. So there's no spitter right here. They should be able to probably push their way close to the safe room unless they get separated again. And there's only one spawn in the spawn queue for the SI, so this should be Nameless pushing their way probably directly in. Charger's going to come in right now trying to land. Nice skeet by Setfire onto that Hunter, and the Charger did miss as well. That's going to be Team Nameless making the save from bringing their total to 3,152 points for this best of one match right here in the lower bracket. That's a nice job by them so far.
Yeah, that's a massive health bonus. Once again, though, obviously something that we can see Impossible definitely match here. If they were to make the map 700 distance, would put them at a score of 2,000. And then, once again, we saw Team Nameless actually post-tank sitting at a score of, or a health bonus, I should say, of 1,100 points. So if they can do it, you know, Impossible is more than capable, I think, of also doing it. So we could see them claw this way back and bring it down to the finale here. But once again, if they do end up wiping here, if they eat a hittable or two during this tank, and obviously a good boom lands, we could definitely be seeing possibly the end of this game, as we are coming up on that final map, and the losing team will get to say if they want to play finale or not, pretty much, if they are 1,000 points under. So if they can claw it within that 1,000 points, we will be forced to that Mat 5. If not, they might elect to just GG out.
Yeah, it really depends. I mean, I've seen teams make like a 1,600 or a 1,700 point chapter score on this map, and that would put it to an almost virtual tie. They're behind exactly 1,800 points walking into the Survivor round right here. Smoker, Boomer, Hunter, Spitter for the first hit from Team Nameless. That Spitter's on the right-hand side, and Francis is just trying to pepper the floor here, maybe trying to get a prediction shot on a Boomer or something, but instead, the Hunter's gonna land. He should get smoked out here too. Yeah, he is. Oh my goodness, he actually gets caught on the ladder in Spit. That's a huge amount of damage. Death Spit as well. Kiss me, they just threw away 80 points of health on that first hit.
In all honesty, that was a very heads-up Smoker play by that team in general. Good Smoker positioning. I wonder if they actually knew that he was going to get caught up on that piece of metal there at the top, because that was really smart once again. And the Spitter threw it down there for some odd reason. I mean, you can't really say that, you know, they had anything really going for them. And regardless, though, very nice play. Once again, tank up in the hands of Fitz here. Nice double boom landing, and this could trigger the commit here by Fitz.
Yeah, this should trigger the commit here by Fitz, I would say. He's going to work away, and he's going to work his way in from the left-hand side. Looks like he's going to push for those dumpsters that are in the alley back there, and then from there he should be able to make his way in probably. But actually, the Horde's mostly dead now. Dumpster's going to go flying to the left. He has two dumpsters in front right here. The kitchen sink is also somewhere in the back there, I'm pretty sure, as we mentioned before. He has a car sitting in front. He's getting chipped a little bit, but here comes the dumpster rain, pretty much. And he's going to start whacking that car as well in, almost hitting Bill right there. And the tank is going to decide actually to work his way in on that. Nice punch going out onto Lewis, who is separated now. Tank getting kited around right here, but they're going to go for the hittable play on the guy who's separated, and the dumpster does manage to land onto him. Beautiful hit coming out, and the Hunter is actually on top of him as well. Another dumpster going out, and Lewis is in trouble. Jockey's bouncing around, trying to land onto Francis right there. That is going to be the death. Oh, almost onto Lewis. I thought he was going to be completely just dead after that. He has about 2 points, maybe 12 points left of temporary HP. I thought he was dead, but again, that's a fulling cap going out from that hittable landing. And the tank still has under 2k HP to play with here. And he's just kind of chilling in the corner, waiting for the survivors to put themselves into a different position. They're going forward.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really stay back as they would like to with this tank, obviously. They know that they had to have done a lot of damage. Nice double or single boom going on Cyrus. That dumpster, unfortunately, will be way off site and unfortunately land off the left side of the Cyrus. Health bonus, as it stands, is a 945. So they are around 400 points up of where we saw Team Nameless finish around. But these cars, I believe, are still hittables, especially the dumpsters. He's going right for the Honda, hits it towards Lewis. That's going to be another cap on a Spuddy, dropping that temporary bonus as he was the target that took that cap. Another car hit towards Bill, but that will not connect, and that will be the tank killed off as well. But Spuddy eating another hittable.
Destroyed their damage bonus.
Yeah, knocked it down, way down to 36%.
64%. It was 64% in one hittable. I mean, it might go back up when they get him back up, but no, that was a 52% dent into the damage bonus via one hittable.
Yeah, that is absolutely tremendous. And you look at the actual total health bonus as it stands right now, 712. That one hittable dropped it by over 200 points. Yeah, there's the one hit, or the first hit going out from the Witch onto Francis does manage to land on Brian. That's going to drop the health bonus even more, down to a 560. They're pretty much virtually tied right now with the health bonus of Team Nameless. Only 28 points do separate them. And judging by how this round's already gone, Impossible is probably going to drop below that health bonus at some point here coming up.
For sure, and I mean, at this point, it's unfortunate for Team Impossibru because, like I said, they had such a showing last week and they started this game, like, especially map 2, they were keeping pace at least, and then after that it just turned into disaster these past 2 maps. Jockey's gonna go in, Charger's gonna land as well, beautiful double cap going out, a lot of damage going out onto Zoe up top, and their health is just being dropped and dropped and dropped with each hit that's going in.
Yeah, there's just really nothing that Team Impossible can do at this point in time. They do still have 2 pills left on themselves for the rest of this map. They should find a set of 2 here at this event and further on in the map. But there's just not really, once again, much that they can do here. Somer and Mangu both looking to go slow here in a little bit as well. They actually might end up just rushing this event, it looks. Indeed, they're going to do just that. Boomer proxy down to Zoe. The rest of the attack making its way in. Hunter Smoker looking for caps. Smoker does land for a second there, but does end up getting cleared. Hunter gets blasted out of there by Mangu in 1 shot. And that will be the attack over and done with. So that is the first attack, once again, quite nicely shut down there by Team Impossible. And they are looking to make it with pretty much the same health bonus that we saw Team Nameless make it with, if they do continue on this course.
I mean, they're going to be blitzing this with Common now, though, and they do have 2 survivors bleeding out. Their damage bonus is still open for Assault from the Special Infected, too. I mean, they could really, like, screw up that damage bonus with a really good hit. They're trying to get in the room. Lewis has stumbled outside. Charter gets a punch. Proxy boom going out, and Lewis is going to be rocketed into the air by that smoker pull and that Common kind of flipping him up that wall. And the smoker's going to try to get a repull onto Bill. But again, even that right there was even more damage going out. That's going to be another victory for Team Nameless on the Special Infected side of things, just controlling Impossibru's Survivor.
Yeah, I mean, once again, there's not really much that Impossible can do. They were pretty much forced to rush this event, which is a very nasty event to say the least, especially with this drop point coming up here, as the survivors can pretty much get heavily separated here and even get in-capped if there's a jockey or smoker on the side to really help out here. So there's not really all that much that the survivors can do. They are going to elect to kind of hold out here in this upper room, kind of wait and see if they can actually force this attack to actually throw itself in. Boomer trying to rocket boom in, does tap a ladder though, and he will actually get popped at the window.
Honestly, they should just save it for a tri-cap now, because there's still a huge amount of horde going out, and the survivors are going to be forced into that horde because they know they're waiting for a 3rd spawn. This is even better now for the Special Infected. There's the jockey landing in the corner. Hunter and Spitter both kind of waiting here to go in. Hunter's going to go for a DP, managing to land onto Zoe right there. That should be an end cap, maybe going out onto Zoe. Indeed, it's going to be, and that's what they wanted right there. Even with those spawns, they forced the survivors into a position where they had spawns overhead, and there was a bunch of Common on them.
Yeah, very well played there by Team Nameless. Charger making his way in now, looking for Charger. Does manage to find out onto Lewis, but immediately cleared. But he still does get that initial damage out onto him. But with that being said, there's only a smoker up right now. But Boomer now finding a spawn as well. Smoker Tongue gets cleared off, and they will be able to make their way into the safe room with no other SI really being able to affect them. And they're going to make it in. They are under 1,000 points behind. But still, it's really close to 1,000 points. What is that, 998? 8?
Yeah, so I mean, hey, that's unfortunate, I'd say, for Team Impossible. I mean, it's still possible, but it's hinging towards that, line where we start talking about, mathematics and things like that, stuff people don't want to hear about. 1K going into the finale, if they don't get a wipe on this first tank, it's over, in my opinion.
Indeed, and luckily this game has gone somewhat quick as well, regardless of who ends up winning it, as we do have U9 versus Silencio jockeys waiting in the wings for this. And, well, they're not really waiting. They can really begin whenever they want. I'm not going to make them wait for us to finish this up. If anything, if, obviously Nameless doesn't wipe here at this tank, we might just end up cutting it and going over to the next game, as this one is pretty... Well, I don't want to be rude. I've never
preferential North American
No, I don't. I've never done it before. I've never just cut off a gas and switched. But,
yes, we have.
We have? When?
Watch Left 4 Dead. Remember that? I remember that.
I don't remember.
There were a few people involved, and some people getting kicked from servers, and some other things that happened there because some people thought they were already covering a game. And,
yeah, I remember that.
Good
times.
There are a couple of good times going on right there. Nameless took that opening hit pretty well, and again, they're ahead by 1,000 points, pushing into this tank. It's at 70%. And this tank is definitely, it has a lot of wipe potential due to the hitables, and also, again, the spawns overhead giving boomers and things rocketing down, a good chance of landing. But at this point, the storyline really has to be, can Team Impossibru pull that off, number one, but then two, can they fix their survivor? And I don't know if they can at this point, honestly. This witch is extremely aggravated right now, coming in onto the survivor, but she's doing backpedaling or something, managing to land now onto Bill for a full end cap, and then there's a smoker going out on the side as well. That does help Team Impossibru's case.
Indeed, so they do once again get that first tank cap out onto SDFR, but they do still have that tank to also deal with. So if we see Impossible try and just keep things together here going into this final map here, who knows? They could still make this comeback happen, but still they have to fight off 2 tanks, make the boat, and they're gonna need some health bonus to boot with it. So that's a pretty tall order here. It's a very long map, and once again, these 2 tanks not the easiest to fight. So they do have quite a long laundry list of things to do here. But he's going to start working in that car here. Once again, tank in the hands of Solmir here. Lewis is way separated from all the other survivors here. And the SI could definitely just start picking on Lewis here in a second.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Charge is going to land onto him. And the tank pretty much has a position where he can just wait at this point next to his car. But he's actually going to launch his car in at the survivors. I don't know about that. He's going to throw another rock in right here, managing to land it onto Zoe. Lewis is down. No. And he is going to be dead, I'm pretty sure, in a second, maybe? Nope, not quite. He's almost dead. Hunter's going to land on him, so they got the kill. Jockey manages to land as well. Tank is going to get out. I don't know about that, Kiss Me.
Yeah, I mean, they got the kill regardless, but I feel like that tank should have still had his 4k HP left. I feel like he should have just sat behind the car, played slow, and pretty much forced the survivors out way into the open, and then just gone for that car hit. He got a little too antsy. He didn't even need to really throw rocks at them. He could literally just held crouch and stayed behind that car and just sat there forever until that survivor died behind him. But once again, he got a little too antsy.
He's been saying, "Kiss me as a wonderful mother." Take that back.
What?
They were talking about your preferential treatment in chat.
Oh, well, I'm just hyped for you 9 versus Sensor jockeys. If PSM can tell me right now they'll wait, you know, we'll stay here as long as we have to.
Oh, this is nice, though. Double boom going out. That Hunter does get skeeted, but that Smoker did get a separation pull onto Francis. They're trying to clear it, but it's not going out. But they need to 3-cap them. This car, though, that took a flight right there from one side of the map to the other, and the tank still is in the hands of Solmir. He's working his way in. There's a survivor who is still pretty common locked. Car's going to bounce off that big tree. Another car hit going in. There's the AI tank, and they need a tri-cap before they start getting distance points.
Yeah, they can't let them hit that event. As you mentioned, they don't want them to start gathering up those distance points. But they're just not going to be able to get those SI up in time. Tank manages to die off there. So now there is a single move going out into Francis. 1 SI up being that charger. I mean, Boomer's up as well, but it's going to probably die off here in a couple seconds. So I don't count that as a SI, let alone a capper of all things.
Yeah, it would really suck for Team Impossibru if they get like a 2-2 right now off that tank death. But that Boomer's going to go in trying to get a proxy. Indeed does manage to land it. And they actually did almost get a 2-2 off that, so that's unfortunate. And, I mean, after they slam that radio a couple more times, they should be able just to run back and then start making up points. Charger's going to go in there trying to land onto the smoke target, but then gets turned around and charges the other direction. And now they're going to start getting distance points, so this is unfortunate for Team Impossibru.
Yeah, I mean, because we're seeing still 3 sets of pills left on Nameless. There's probably another one over on the dock as well, or the porch, I should say. So there's still a lot of health to still burn through here for Team Nameless. Only 2 of them, or only 1 of them's bleeding out as well. So you have 2 green survivors. They don't need pills to stay fast at this point in time. So you are in a pretty bad spot if you're Impossible right now, and that gap is just widening second by second, to say the least. But here comes a potential tri-cap. Hunter gets blown out of there, though, really quickly, and that's going to be the entire attack just shut down piece by piece. And
Smoker?
Hey, that's Stealthy Smoker.
That was close to being nice, but I mean, that Hunter did manage to land for a second, then did get cleared pretty fast. And this is the thing, in Ace Mod, if you have 4 survivors here, that second tank is slaughterable really, really easy. It was also slaughterable in Pro Mod because you had slowdown, you can force the tank to spawn in a bad spot, but before Uzi's just nailing that thing, obviously there's only 3 survivors up, but even with 3 Uzi's just nailing that tank as soon as it spawns in an open field, it's really easy to kill. So I'm going to say that it's still possible for Team Impossibru to come back, but they need to take that first tank flawlessly, take the hits on the dock flawlessly, and then push that tank into a really bad area when it spawns, and they could make it.
I
use the word
could. In all actuality, I think Nameless has just had some really strong SI rounds here, to say the least. More so, I think their tanks have been brilliant so far, and they've just been exactly what they need, is pretty much. So I think they're still in a really good spot to just get the wipe here with the first tank on their half. Depending on how many points they make here, I definitely don't see that comeback happening, though, in my opinion. But I understand you said could. Not probably, but could.
Right. We have to mention that. We still have to keep that medium of possibility open because it's still a mathematical thing. And apparently, Kiss Me, you are someone's mother who they never wanted. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but chat is starting to go in an odd direction.
I have no idea what's going on. I don't know how I became a mother.
Me either.
I didn't even know I was pregnant. Damn you, Rails.
I apologize in advance. We do have that spit. Gonna miss the dock entirely. Hunter Smoker Charger could make the tri-cap, but this is a problem again. If you let them get to this point, it's almost like a free, like, 300 or 400 points, and they can just stand there and shoot everything while blocking the spawns. Hunter's gonna try to go in. There's a 2-cap. Where's the Charger? Charger wasn't quite able to get in on that, but now there's a 2-cap on the other side. This actually could be it. And I did mention that if they stay on the dock, that's the thing. And they also did a pretty bad job of shooting all the things in that case, so that's why we're seeing what we have right here. But that's going to be a survivor down in the water. Smoker's going to try to get a separation pull. Not going to land. They're going to clear the common. And if they somehow survive this, he's trying to pull somebody under the dock.
Yeah, he's trying to actually pull through the wooden support beams that are actually holding all the, I don't know, the uprights together, to say the least. So, not going to work out that well. There's a lot of things for that time to get broken on. But he will go ahead and back himself out there. The next hit coming up, though, is going to be a Spitter, Smoker, and a Boomer along with that Jockey. So they do have a 2-2 yet again. They're getting really unlucky here with these hits.
Honestly, they are. I mean, this Jockey's going to go bouncing in, trying to land. Spit's going to break on absolutely nothing. Pull goes out. One health Smoker gets killed. And yeah, apparently people in chat are also wondering what it would be like if Dawkins was their father. So, okay. Yes, chat. Whatever you're doing, don't stop being you.
I made my communion, so I think I can.
Alright, not bad.
Did you make yours?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah, we're in good shape. Boomer.
I mean, that was only like 10 years ago, but...
That's a while, yo.
That was the last time I was at church, too. But anyway, Tack coming in here looking for this tri-cap. Jockey Magic Land, Charger lands, that's a tri-cap! May the power of Christ compel you, and that will be the wrap there.
The tank spawn. What? That sucks because
that's a quad cap.
That means a point jump, right? Like right before that happens. So what? It's like a 14. They need to score 1,500 points in the Death Toll finale. 1,500 points. That would be unheard of. Like I'm just saying right now, that would be completely unheard of.
That is quite the lunch bag that was packed by your loving family, I guess. Since to file Twitch chat.
Reaper saying it's hard being a single mom when you're a 24-year-old man with no children.
Exactly.
Like, yo.
Wait, who said that?
Reaper Shepherd?
Oh god, I love you, Reaper. I was reading everybody else and someone said you became a mother because you don't know how to use a condom, you slut kiss me. Freaking Kotex. Oh my god.
Oh boy, we are slowly but surely sliding into meme territory right here, unfortunately. And if you thought that was bad, we have Silencio Jockey versus Yonaim next. Like, why does it go ready? Casters? I didn't ready. What?
You calling them bad?
They're calling us bad.
You calling them bad?
We also noticed that. I mean, I think it might be another glitch that happens in Sir Please, but...
Yeah, Sir Please has a bugged ready up from what I remember of the past weeks. Good times.
Illuminati confirmed. Thank you for that, Grizz. Alright, I think they're ready. What?
Do you remember that Illuminati thing? That HCPS? Were you there when they played it?
Oh, yeah, dude. That was you and I casting that.
No. They have a new one.
Oh, yeah. We were in that channel, yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna die when they play that.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. HCP also has a few more tricks up their sleeve for us.
I love it.
Absolutely.
It's a toast.
It has 3 letters. You know what else has 3 letters? Teammates.
No, it's 2 eyes. You know what else has 2 eyes? Is 3 teammates.
Chat, you just have to wait. Like, I promise, what we're laughing about right now is awful, and it'll be great to hear it when we actually have in a match. Beautiful 2-cap going out right here. Can't take anything away from the way Team Nameless has played in this game against Team Impossibru. And Impossibru, there's another discussion in chat going on, again, about that benching of Xenia or something like that, because he was a Left 4 Dead 1 player. Honestly, he played in that game last week, didn't he?
Wait, who?
Xenia.
Xenia?
Yeah, Xenia, yeah. He played in that game last week, and he didn't play this week, and that was a good question. I saw him scrimming with them this week, too, so... I'm not sure if Impossibru just wanted to change their lineup or what.
I'm also 99% sure that he was actually an old member of their team So that's why I have a feeling they played really well in the past week against Serenity because they had that chemistry that was, building up and whatnot. Nice clear line on that charger, though. Nice draw count as well. But yeah, I have a feeling if they used him, this game would have played out a little bit differently. They probably would have had much better coordination on both halves. And who knows, that we could be seeing a different game coming into this last half of it. But regardless, Impossibru moving the way forward here. Going to push this tank, it seems.
It's hard being a single mother when you're a 24-year-old guy with no children and speech impediment. Blomp, blomp, and noop, noop, and noop, noop, noop.
What the hell is that?
That was Titwit just in chat, just being a little...
Titwit.
That's pretty good. And you know what? They're pushing really, really hardcore forward right now. Tank is up in the hands of F for Team Nameless. We do have a rock going in, managing to land on that hunted survivor, but I think it just did God frame damage, if I'm not mistaken. Smoker got to pull back and kiss me. I want to see 2 tanks.
I don't. I'm okay with one because I have a feeling that Slincy Dreckies, actually, I see Ram loading up his game now. So I do want to hop over there as soon as I can. I don't want Impossibru to just wipe here. I'm not saying that, but I do want this game I want this game to hurry up!
You are so biased towards North America. It's not even funny.
I just don't see the comeback happening. If this game was really close, I'd be like, all right, I don't care about the next game. But I have a feeling that this is just too much of a score gap. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but nice rock. That was actually really nicely put right between 2 trees and landing right on Bill or Francis's head.
That honestly might trigger the survivors to try to push the tank even more because they start getting they start eating rocks and they start having issues happening in terms of just positioning in general. And this is what we're seeing quite again. I mean, Nameless could literally play this in the next 18 minutes if they wanted to.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of LOS here to be had for this tank. So once again, we shouldn't be expecting this tank to commit anytime too soon, unless some sort of big boom lands. Then I could see it going.
No. This is gonna happen for the next I swear to you, because we wanted to cast that game. It's gonna happen for 18 minutes now. This rock almost landing onto Zoe. There's a nice double cap landing with a double boom. Rock landing for Rage onto Bill there as well. I mean, this could literally go on forever. I mean, eventually the Survivors are going to have ammo and the SI are going to get tired, but...
Speaking of weight commands, or weight commanders, if you guys want to head over to L4D2.com, there's actually a thread that was started by Prodigy Sim, and they are looking to re-implement weight commands on servers, which they're pretty interesting. They changed up quite a bit of the gameplay, or at least the aesthetics, I should say, for the Survivors and the SI, and also it introduces some functionality to them as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a divided... Oh my goodness, what a melee skeet by Setfire. I don't know if you saw that, Kiss Me. That was sick.
No, I'm all tank POV right now.
Okay, well, he got a nice melee skeet over there. I think that's been another question that's going on in terms of weight commands. Left 4 Dead Nation has had some interesting opinions on it. Some people are for it, some people are against it. And it's one of those things, if you want to see how the Left 4 Dead 2 community works, it hasn't turned into just straight shit flinging yet, but it might be getting close. I'm not entirely sure, but, I mean, if they got reintroduced... Personally, and this is again just 100% my personal opinion, the Bleed Out Tournament does not endorse this in any way. I don't really see an issue with it now that we have B-Hops and Jump Rocks blocked. Yeah, I really don't see a problem with it. Jockey manages to land onto Impossibru right there, and this rock is going in as well. Kiss Me, I think you said something about this game ending soon. I don't know.
Shut up, Rails. But, yeah, there's plus and minuses to both sides of reintroducing weight commands. Once again, we're not sure if it's going to happen or not. It's just something that was brought up. But as you mentioned, a lot of the things that were exploited with weight commands have been blocked in the actual configs themselves. So even if they did actually create weight commands for it and whatnot, nothing's really going to come of it. But Tank dropping in here onto Doc, looking for a corner or makeshift corner, at least here onto Survivors. That's a death punch out onto Bill. And that's one Survivor dead. Another rock coming out here on the Survivors. That's a double cap happening, I think.
Style.
Yeah.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's Team Nameless taking the win over Team Impossibru right there. That means Team Impossibru, your 16th seed, is the first seed to be eliminated from the Bleed Out Tournament elimination stages right there by a score of 3,591